Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 607 podcast. I'm your host, Steven.
I'm your boy, David.
What up, what up? Welcome back for episode 2, everyone. Thanks right off the bat for tuning into episode 1. We appreciate all the support we got from everybody.
For real. We got some real kind words, man. It was really nice to see that. It was probably about 99% positive. My mother had some negative things to say, you know. A couple other people had some negative things to say. My mother doesn't want me to do all that cursing.
Well, that's what it mainly was. People are like, wow, you guys kind of you curse too much. Yeah. The one guy says fuck too much. I mean, I think we both say fuck a lot.
Yeah, but it was overwhelmingly positive and supportive, and
great.
You know, people are really taking to the concept. That was a Jenny you guys just heard crack. Jenny in the building. I just got it from the it's a half McDonald's, half like little mini little express thing. They got a lot of shit though. There was some freak. You should have seen the freaks in there though.
Oh yeah, it's Appalachian, baby.
There was one guy for the entire time that we waited for our food. He was standing by the where you get the ice cream cones and the push-up pops, just looking at it, just examining each one.
The good humor case.
This motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's freaks out there. But as I was saying, it was overwhelmingly positive. I really appreciate it. You guys said some kind things, and the bandwagon is certainly growing. Brother.
I'm surprised we didn't have more shit talkers.
You know what? They'll eventually come out the woodworks.
Oh yeah.
You know, eventually.
And they probably are talking shit in like behind closed doors.
That's all right.
Oh, 607. Oh, fuck the 607 podcast.
Eventually, I hope that does continue, because that's fine.
Shit. Oh,
more people that know the better. But I think for the average person, or at least I'd like to hope, it's feeling sort of a. No one in the 607 does a podcast. Okay?
No, podcast vacuum.
It's sort of feeling a little. There's one guy on YouTube who does a podcast called the Binghamton Podcast. I'm not going to plug it, but it's him, and he listens to music. So he basically plays music, and between the songs, he bullshits.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's nothing like
it's nothing like nothing. All right. Okay.
Haters will make you famous.
As far as that voice you heard in the background, that's my boy Colt, a.k.a. Raveboy. He, first of all, I'd like to preface it by saying he knows everything about raves, he knows a lot about drugs, too. That's my dog. All right? And he's out. He knows a lot about tea. My God, he broke it the fuck down for me one day about tea.
Like the drink? Herbal tea?
Leaves. What are they actually called?
What, tea leaves?
The tea leaves. He knows all about them. $200 teas, everything. This motherfucker broke it down for me, dude. For real. He's full of knowledge. But that's... We decided to add a little bit of element to him so he could Google things. He could look things up. He takes phone calls for us. And,
let me get that.
You know, he also bought something real interesting earlier. He's going to
be a little bit of a tech guy for us. And, we got to listen to him fighting with his girlfriend or something.
Girlfriend. He's known her 2 days.
His girlfriend of 2 days. He's fighting with her. Just telling her, listen, bitch, if you don't stop causing all this drama, you know, what do you say? I'm done. It's over. He was laying down the law to this girl. Serious.
He's known her 2 days, and she's already coming up. Right. She's already running that gator. We recorded a portion of the call. 2 days.
Yeah.
He's known her. You would think that they were married probably about 4 or 5 years at this point. But this bitch was rattling that gator the whole time. And I had to tell him.
Raveboy told her to fuck right off.
Yeah, for real. Raveboy don't play, though.
No.
Yeah, he's one of the few. He's one of the few that I say, you know what? That's the boy who comes from the hip. It gives me a good feeling about the future. Yeah.
Speaking of good in the future, 607 podcast, fuck the local news. I mean, it's trash for the most part, right?
Right. Do I even? That's people already know that.
Honestly, look to the local. What do you look to the local news for?
I look once in a while to check out Brandy Devine.
Who's Brandy Devine?
She's on WBNG. Brandy Divine.
Brandy
Is
Define.
delicious.
Listen to Freud over here. Brandy Define.
I'm gonna define her by something.
She is the finest bitch in Binghamton.
For real. My brain should have said Brandy Defile, but she's fucking sexy.
Right.
She's on the news. Ray Boy, Google Brandy Divine and send Stevie Boy a link.
Yeah, put it over here. Put it on my desktop.
Yeah, that's one reason to listen to the news. But as far as podcast goes, you know, there really isn't much out there. No. You know, Steve and I were kind of looking at podcasts, and you know, if you YouTube the word podcast, is literally, I told Steve about it earlier. There's people who talk baseball for 3 hours, only about the NL West.
Yeah, I mean, how the fuck do you possibly make baseball that interesting? I mean, I understand that people who watch baseball are used to not a very high pace, you know, like a fast-paced game. It's not very thrilling. Like, I mean, it's thrilling, but there's a lot of waiting. But a 2-hour and 46 minutes podcast about baseball?
Yeah, about the pitching of the Colorado Rockies.
No, like, it seems a little excessive.
That's the kind of market out there. And I also told Steve that, you know, there's really two ways to divide it. There are professional comedians who have phenomenal podcasts who get great
Joe
guests.
Rogans.
Yes, Bill Burr's The Monday Morning Podcast. Absolutely. And they all branched off things like O&A and Stern and things like that.
Sure,
Ron and Fez.
radio shows.
Absolutely, man. The heroes of mine. But the other thing is people who just babble and just talk about just horse shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what? I would rather play Disney's Ghost of Mistwood on Facebook than listen to the Colorado Rocky Dugout fucking podcast.
The banter. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just
that.
But we're hopefully
we'll find a better niche than dugout chat.
Absolutely, man. And now we got Ray Boy on board, so things should be all right.
Yeah,
he's our Ric Flair.
He's our leg lock expert.
For real.
Because everybody needs to have one leg lock expert in their life. He's the nature boy.
He's nature. He knows that. He knows he can get you fucked up in nature if you're on a trail somewhere.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Sure.
I'll have you talking to a tree in no time.
Well, we haven't mic'd him up.
Drug reference.
Yeah, we haven't mic'd him up just yet.
You don't get a mic on your first week on the show.
Eventually, he will.
As a staff member. As a guest, you do, but you're not a guest. You're a staff.
He's an intern right now.
So we're giving him a trial run. Little bit of a local news bit. David was at Spring Fling.
I did go to Spring Fling. Yellow Band, a.k.a. Yellow Card.
What's the story?
Horrendous. What had happened was the SA at Binghamton University, the Student Assembly, they wrote a welcome sign when you first drive in.
Oh, that was sweet of them.
And they accidentally said, "Welcome Yellow Band." That's how irrelevant Yellow Card is.
Well, do you think it's the irrelevance of Yellow Card or the straight negligence and ignorance of the SA? I mean, I don't care who the fuck's coming to your campus. Hop on Google.
Yeah.
Making a sign.
But, you know, a part of me kind of liked it because, you know, Yellow Band is a little bit obscure. Anyways, these motherfuckers were chanting Yellow Band during the concert. I went to the concert. I had a decent time. It wasn't terrible. But this lead singer of Yellow Band got on the mic and he started yelling about, oh, I got a horrible tweet that hurt my feelings. Someone from your school they said, I heard Yellow Band is coming. He called it Yellow Band. Yellow Band is coming to Binghamton University. Please don't. And people cheered him. You know, like they cheered the fact. They're terrible.
And then he played, and then he's like, oh.
And then he waited till last to play Ocean Avenue.
Okay.
Because that's their big, their big...
Everybody would leave if they played it other than...
Yes, and then the Binghamton University, the main paper. I hate to call it the main paper
Pipe
because...
Dream?
Yes, because I like Review. I like the boys at Review.
I always enjoyed the Review.
They're a little bit reactionary.
Morally not in the same niche.
But you know what? They all want to be like Ted Cruz.
Right, well, they're good writers, too.
They are decent. They're smart. They're smart. They're sharp as fuck.
And they write well.
Yes, absolutely. But Pipe Dream had said... They threw a fucking zinger at the Yellow Band. They threw a one-liner on them. They said that Yellow Band was, and I'm going to quote verbatim, the exact what they said.
In what, like a write-up? Is this like a review of the show?
They wrote it up, and they called them this. Hold up. Remember one second.
Pulling up the article.
Raveboy should be doing this shit, but he's over there masturbating. He's masturbating, thinking about the EDC.
Raveboy wanted me to turn all the lights out so he could go hide in the corner and just kind of
thinking about EDC.
You see me glowing.
What's EDC?
Electric Daisy Carnival.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. I'm sorry.
He's edging, thinking about this shit.
It's fucking fast in all of New York City.
Okay, the student assembly said, we delivered, we get the crowd going, and the pipe dream said, delivered. That's an understatement. Yellow Card is one of the best pop punk alternative bands of the 2000s, featuring a violin. They just shit on him. They just said, you have a violin. Yellow Card was a bomb. Just an absolute bomb.
I think I like one song of theirs, and it's a real obscure one that nobody even knows about anyways, so I didn't even go. I wouldn't go with hopes they were going to play it. I had other shit to do anyways this year. I didn't make it over, but I traditionally go. When I was a student, I went. Brand New was there one time when I was a student.
Brand New came there?
Yeah, I think in like maybe 02 or some shit. It was in the middle of my tenure. Like right when they were not really much of anything. He knew a lot of cats from Long Island. There was a lot of cats from Long Island going to school, and they brought him up. It was cool. I know a couple other people from the area.
Oh, and they were an hour and 45 minutes late.
Who, Yellow Band?
Who the fuck do they think they are?
Pissed. Obviously, the singer's being
a
drama queen about everything.
Yeah, be a fucking diva somewhere else. Seriously.
So, hey, speaking of music, piece of news in the music world this week, everybody. Jeff Hanneman of Slayer. I want to say he's maybe the rhythm guitarist. I don't know. One of the guys playing guitar for Slayer, obviously sick band, been around for years and years. Dead at 49. And one bit of news I saw about this case was that the infamous Westboro Baptist Church is planning to picket at his funeral. Now, the Westboro Baptist Church, little background for anybody who doesn't know, radical Christian organization founded somewhere out in the Midwest, and they basically protest everything, anything. They're famous for protesting against homosexuals in general, not just gay marriage, but just gays. GodHatesFags.com, that's their website. Give them a little plug there. What up, WBC? Do your thing. They're maniacs. They protest everything. People hate them. People love to fucking hate them. Well, because, frankly, as David would say, they're hateable. Hateable as fuck. They're evil people. They protest all the wrong things. My thing is, you're going to go protest a fucking Slayer band member death? I mean, these people are fucking crazy who are going to be at this
You're
funeral.
talking about the Slayer fans.
The fans are going to be fucking crazy. They're the people
Slayer
that the Baptist Church has to worry about. The crazy fans, the dudes with the fucking shards of glass, they pound a fucking High Life, smash it, and carve some shit in their chest. They carve Slayer in their heads. We've all seen the picture.
Yeah, we've seen that.
I mean, these are crazy
have to realize
fucking people.
These people also were protesting a soldier's death. Let's be real here.
He's right.
They do.
They're
They absolutely
protesting
do.
someone that's doing something in some aspects courageous.
Their rationale is, I think it's twofold. Their own rationale, as warped and as sort of esoteric and vile as it is that
they just want to get a fucking rise out of people. And
yes, absolutely. They absolutely do. They do it on the basis of this is what they say, and it's a complete ad hominem. They say, God hates America, so he kills soldiers. Why does God hate America? Because we allow tolerance of homosexuals and homosexual behavior, things like that. The Supreme Court ruled 8-1 2 years ago whether or not the First Amendment extended this, and they ruled in favor of them. It was the right thing to do. Alito, if you get a chance to read it, Alito's dissent. I don't know how many. I'm going to go to law school and finish with Binghamton, so I'm really into law, but Alito's dissent, saying that this pushed the First Amendment too far, is a very eloquent dissent. I'm almost a free speech absolutist, but it's a very eloquent, very lucid,
this guy,
very, very well put dissent against the idea that Shirley Phelps and the late
gangsters.
I believe Fred Phelps is still alive, but them, and they only have about 25 members. They're not actively recruiting. You know what I mean? They're dying out.
Yeah.
I mean, even their own family members are turning against them. Which reminds me, the Amish are dying out at such a rate. Have you heard about?
Damn shame. I love the Amish.
Have you heard about that? They can't find new blood. They can't find new converts.
No.
So they stud out their daughters and wives to bring in new genes. Have you heard about that shit? I swear to you, there's online sites.
I love the Amish.
Yeah, I know.
Awesome.
But they stud out their girls and shit.
Yeah, Raveboy, research that up.
Yeah, Raveboy, try to get me on one of those stud farms with the Amish girls for the show. I'll bring that to the show. That could be a running bit.
Let's get him some contact information and get Raveboy on the phone. He's going to take care of this for us.
For real, that could be a running bit. I'd love to go one of these.
Hey, everybody. Elephant in the room. The catfish story.
The catfish story. That was a great segue, by the way. Went from me fucking breeding with Amish bitches to the obvious thing. The obvious thing.
The catfish. So, excuse me, guys.
Let me preface all this by saying Steve has done... This is Steve's baby, all right? He adopted it from me. No. Steve has done a phenomenal job. Steve and I are a gay couple with this baby, okay? But Steve has... I have weekend visits with this baby.
Right, I got him during the week.
But I'm telling you right now, Steve has done a tremendous amount of research, so I'm going to hand it... Steve, you got the stick. Please, break it the fuck down.
Boys. Let's see what we got here. So, I'm hanging out this week. I'm doing a bit of detective work. I got to give a quick shout-out. My boy Ken, his girl Amy, hanging out, chilling with me, doing a little bit of research, looking at this... catfish story, and I've uncovered some interesting details. Foremost, I've actually found the identity of who we're going to refer to as our model. We've got our model and our catfish. I've got our model's identity on several different social media platforms. I got her on Facebook. I got her on LinkedIn. I got her on foamagazine.com. I got her on Teen Vogue. And basically, I've confirmed this girl's identity. Our model is from Arkansas. She's married. She's married to a guy who's an active duty enlisted military guy. She's an amateur blogger. And in fact, here on LinkedIn, she refers to herself as, let's see, what does it say? An up-and-coming... she is actually currently a cashier at Forever 21, but she's an aspiring fashion stylist and writer. So we were right about the fact that she's basically into fashion. She's a blogger. She's taking pictures of herself. And we've also uncovered another interesting thing. Dave mentioned last week, the catfish doesn't have any pictures of herself in the area. No candid shots. Nothing somebody else took and tagged her in. For a girl who's quote-unquote DT all the time, where's any kind of proof of that?
She never had anything resembling sort of a candid or anything resembling from a phone.
No.
This bitch was using verbatim the pictures,
and I have model shots. I got side-by-sides.
The model shots.
Everything.
We have correlation. We don't know if it's causation that she might have taken the hint from us on the show saying that she has no candids. Steve?
It's possible, because this week she did happen to upload a photo. I'm going to put it on 607podcast.com. I'm going to go ahead and take the leap here. I'm making an executive decision on this. It's sometime this week. I don't know when exactly. I'm going to put this image up on a blog post at 607podcast.com. It's a side-by-side image of what appears to be the catfish's first candid photo in the area. So I open the photo on the catfish's site, and she says, here I am, just hanging out at the Ale House in Ithaca.
I've never been there.
I haven't been there yet either myself. I plan to go there. And the photo, it's kind of strange. She's leaning one way, and you can see somebody's hand behind her as if she's with someone else who's been cropped out. So I'm on her website, and sure enough, it's her husband at a place that we confirmed by Googling the name on the awning out front of the place in the concurrent album of pictures that we saw this one in, and looking at some license plates on vehicles nearby, is actually located in Arkansas. So our catfish is based out of Arkansas. She went to high school there. We know where she went to high school. We know where she went to college. We sent her a message. We're trying to get her on the show. We're trying to get her involved in this expository bit we're doing here. And basically, as you scroll down her page and as you scroll down the catfish's page, it's picture for picture, instance for instance, everything is going up live. This is fucked up. This human being that's behind this is truly fucked up. And this poor girl who's at the other end of it, who may or may not know, I don't know if she even got my message yet. I mean, ugh. She's going to take that. I would take that pretty rough.
You know what? I would say that a majority of people I know a pretty wide spectrum, but a majority of people I know that if someone hit me up and they said, listen, someone's using your life, it doesn't matter. You're going to want to investigate that. Curiosity is going to take over. It would be a red flag to me, and that would be the time we'd have to step in and just tell the listeners, here's the links, do the work. Here's the work right in front of you. This is what we got.
Right.
If she doesn't, if the model, I'm talking about the victim here, if the model doesn't come forward, we're gonna give it till Saturday.
Yep.
We're gonna give it till Saturday.
Move on it
we're gonna say if this bitch does not come forward, I'm talking about this bitch in the pejorative, because if she don't want to know, if she wants to hide like an ostrich to the fact that someone's using her life, that's it. It's dead in the water.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all we really can do. Okay. Right. But it's more freaky than we even imagined.
It's deep.
It is.
Now I've confirmed. I'm looking at the girl's Facebook. This is her real life. I'm looking at the real victim here, the model. And, man, that's fucked up. She's living her whole different life, and this girl is concocting these elaborate descriptions of these photos.
You know what,
false.
Steve? Give me a round number. I don't know much about what it would take, or either you, Ray Boy.
What's that?
How many hours a week you think the perpetrator's putting in?
I don't know. Not much. I mean, a couple. Yeah, all you gotta do is sail over to the blog, check for an update, grab an image, and upload it.
Well, here, let me throw an interesting twist. He was talking
Good
about
boy.
the Amish people here who were, like, prostituting out their daughters and their wives.
They was smutting them out.
Tooting. They weren't.
Yeah.
They was smutting them out.
Yes.
Even if they were just using them for breeding of their.
In AmishAmerica.com, it says verbatim that the old enough children.
Wait, before you continue that, did you just say verbatim? What is that? Was that a chili vatum?
Yeah.
Brr. That's a verbatim?
It's breaking.
Why is your jaw quivering talking about this shit?
It's basically saying they're getting married to bring in new people.
They're bringing in new cum.
Outsiders, so more families.
No, listen, we don't do the type of we tell you the truth. The Amish are bringing in new cum. They are studying these bitches out because of a high prevalence of disorders, because there was so much interbreeding.
Yes, well,
my thing for the show is I want to go to one of these places. I want to breed out for the show.
I'll take you to Lancaster. I'll set you up with some dudes I know in Lancaster.
All right, okay, we're getting back to how in depth.
First, I bet this guy's putting in way too much time looking
Rave boy.
at this bitch's photos, and he's probably got her Facebook on favorites. Now let's think about the tabs that he's pulling up. Okay. He knows all of her movements.
He's dropped
in her modeling career, and at the same time follows her Facebook page for her recent updated pictures. All the way from Arkansas. We're bringing in crazy bitch's identity right here, right now. Now, why would he want to steal her identity? He or she, I guess we should say, because we should call it a she.
Oh, Rave Boy.
There has to be something along the lines of, where are these people, like, going with the information they're collecting?
I think they're jerking off to it.
Thank you, Rave Boy.
Thank you, Ray Boy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That Rave Boy's analysis of the crime reminded me of the first 30 seconds in Law and Order, where they're just talking shit, then they find the corpse. They're just talking regular horse shit. Oh, Maloney? And then they're going along with their normal lives, and then they stumble upon the corpse. Yeah. That's what Rave Boy's analysis just reminded me of. I hope, because Rave Boy's not mic'd up yet. I hope you all just got that, because he killed it. Anyways, it's more in depth.
It's deep.
It's so fucking deep. And I'll tell you,
it's fucking deep.
You know what? I'm making a vice presidential decision that 40 minutes after we post this podcast, we out the bitch.
No, we said we give it to Friday. I'm waiting. Think about it. We can't throw this away. Once the model gets back to me, she's going to... Here's what she's going to say. She's going to say, oh, my God, are you serious? I can't believe someone's using my identity. Fuck. And I'm going to say, oh, I know. Do you want to call in, talk to my radio show about it, and then we'll, as a goof, we'll out the girl just as a goof.
Yeah,
we'll figure out a funny way. I was thinking, how funny would it be to take a picture of the model that the catfish hasn't upload it to my Facebook, and tag the fucking catfish. I mean, if we do have a legitimate catfish, it's going to make his or her fucking head spin. Like, whoa, we're onto you so much.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen? It's just like a catfish in the wild. She's just going to go away.
But we kind of have them on the line at that point, don't you think? I mean, they're throwing away their whole livelihood. They've worked for this. This is 900 friends. They may try to just dismiss us, wash us out, push us away.
The ultimate end game for me, and we haven't entirely fleshed it out, is I wish for the show that it is a woman behind the scenes, so we can sort of be like, what prompted you?
What motivates you?
She could be mad lonely. I could find her someone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Dave.
I could probably find her someone. I know a bunch of people. I mean, that's what I'm hoping it is. You know what I mean? But Steve did a tremendous amount of...
I dug a little.
Not only did she post candidates, which we say she doesn't do, but then she posted in the area, which said we didn't do, and then she erased her Facebook. But it was too much.
Yeah, I had a nervous breakdown.
Steve had a nervous breakdown.
Dave and I were on text, and we're talking about it, and I said, hey, listen, this is what I found. I'm going to pull up her page. I'm going to show you something. I pull up her page. She's gone. I search her in my search bar. She's fucking gone. I'm like,
erased it for a little while.
You know what I thought is, she heard the podcast. She deleted me. She blocked me.
But we didn't make it that hot, boy.
No, we didn't know. But then I chilled for like an hour, and I did something else, and I came back, and I searched, and she was back. I think she just deactivated it. Or maybe it was one of those little glitches where Facebook, who knows, where they say this profile's unavailable. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I did some research this week, and another thing I did this week is I watched a fucking shit ton of extreme animal hoarders.
Did you?
We talked about that last week a little. And
so it's a spin-off. Original hoarders are not good enough.
Well, no. Well, what it is they took the most exciting 5 minutes of hoarders, which was, of course, when they find the dead animals, dead possums and shit in the basement.
Cats.
Dead cats that are flat. They're literally crispy and flat.
They're literally in the lettuce crisper in the refrigerator.
Next to some fucking haggard lettuce.
Yeah.
Some 6-month-old black
lettuce.
Gelatinous lettuce.
It's gelatinous.
Fucking disgusting.
Terrible carrots.
The worst carrots. The pumpkin. Remember Jill? Me and my friend used to call her Pumpkin Jill. She was one of the first hoarders. She had a pumpkin in her apartment that was, I think, like a year old, and it was just like eating away the hardwood floor. She was crazy. Remember hoarders? Remember Intervention?
Absolutely. Intervention at its peak was the real deal.
Well, it was good.
It was the real deal.
Me and my boy had a drinking game after it. Every time you saw the tip of a syringe, you drink. Every time they showed a prom photo, you drink. Every time a child or sibling of the user cries, you take a shot per tier. Like, we had like an elaborate rule sheet worked out for it.
That's actually pretty cool.
It was good. It was on Mondays, I remember.
There was one point in Hoarders that it really stuck out for me. It was years ago. There was this disastrous, fucking just horrendous person who she inhaled keyboard air, the keyboard cleaner.
Oh, I got a clip on her. Allison. Because it feels like I'm walking on sunshine. Remember, and the cops came to the door, and she's like, the po-po? They're like,
the cops? I don't even remember.
Yeah,
Please.
The po-po.
It's the
po-po. Listen to her
She's
little baby talk. Listen to her baby.
Like I'm walking on sunshine.
Yeah, she's look.
Like I'm walking on sunshine.
And like he's walking on sunshine. Then she fucking cocks her head during when she says sunshine. Oh, she's out of her fucking gourd, dude. Lost it.
Some people just don't have the brain cells to know that.
She was one of the best ones.
She might have been the best of all time. She was walking on sunshine for TV.
Sunshine. There's a lot of them that are classics. The girl who was on the
Would you fuck that bitch? If she cleaned her shit up.
No, she's cross-eyed and shit. You see
I'm not
her?
above that.
She's cross-eyed. She's fucked up, stupid-looking like crooked bangs, cross-eyed and shit, man. I don't know. She's wily as fuck. When she fought those cops, remember she fought those cops. She's crazy.
She's probably a gator in bed.
Well, yeah, she's probably... Well, hey, actually, I don't know. She does probably have a good share of issues, huh?
For real.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd fuck her.
I think would have something on that.
Steve, who's your number one celebrity crush?
Yeah, you know what? I never have celebrity crushes.
You don't?
Nah, I really don't. You know, I don't know, it's mainly usually female musicians.
Really? Like who? Like Paramore? You like the girl from Paramore?
Not really, no.
What was that? Rave Boy, what was that? How many feel like... Fucking, what was that song? Evanescence. You liked Evanescence?
Oh, well, maybe.
Yeah?
I might have thrown it at Evanescence for a minute.
You did?
No, I mean, I might.
You rubbing that pud to Evanescence?
I might have.
Rave Boy, what about you? Who's your favorite? Who's your celebrity crush?
My celebrity crush.
Your celebrity crush, right?
Wait, but let me turn the mic up so we can hear you. Who are you digging?
I don't know. I'd have to look back through all of the shit on TV anymore to see who
What
I
TV?
I haven't watched TV.
What show would you look for?
I don't know anymore. I don't watch TV.
Me either, Ray Boy. Fuck it.
Rave Boy just goes with it. He can't call it. Rave Boy can't call it. You know what? I had asked somebody I trust. I said, you know what? Should we get a third mic in there? He said, don't do it. But I think, you know, for the you know, the googling and the
You gotta haze him a little.
Oh, we absolutely
gotta haze him a little.
You know,
first.
Hey, Steve and I have gotten to know each other a little bit. I tried to get Steve to go pick up a hooker friend of mine, not to fuck her. It's the first time I ever hung out with Steve.
First night. Well, we went to breakfast to discuss
I wanted her to
podcast.
tell Steve a story.
Then we went out and had a few drinks and went place to place, and it was the end of the night, and I was taking your boy home. And before we got off fucking Shenango Street, he's like, hey, listen, let's get a hooker. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Straight up.
He said, no, let's get a hooker. And I'm like, no, we're not getting a hooker. What the fuck are you talking about? And then you told me the story. Remember?
Yeah. I mean, I wanted the hooker to tell him some stories, but there was
to tell me a fucking
there was a story that I told Steve off the strength of trusting him that I've only told one other person in my life. It was a massive moral dilemma in my life.
You should talk about.
I could get a brief outline. I could take it like this.
There's no such thing as a brief fucking outline of the story.
I could take it like this. It was a massive moral dilemma in my life. I was seeing someone at a certain time. I'm not going to give a specific time. It was on a Super Bowl Sunday. I'm not going to say who won the Super Bowl that year. I'm not going to say who was even in it. Right?
Okay.
And she was really into scat and shit and stuff like that. Now, she wanted me to do something that I wasn't comfortable doing, and I recorded the conversation of me, like, you know, saying, listen, I can't. I really can't. I just can't, baby girl. But that's what she really wanted.
Say that. You did it.
Steve, don't be... Come on. My mother listens to this podcast. It was just a moral dilemma.
Yeah, you know you want to talk about it, though.
I would, but my mother approached me. She said, you're so smart. She said, you're so smart, David. She said, don't say bad words. You know, basically, I was
an idiot.
I was literally in a moral dilemma, and I've broken it down for two people in the world, Steve, and now Rave Boy. He's here.
Rave Boy, though.
He's trying to get off. He's on the coattails right now, but that's my dog. I love him. That's my dog. And I also told an ex-girlfriend the story, and she's the only one who has heard.
How did she feel about
the audio? She's dying.
Do you feel like she thinks like she feels maybe like, wow? Like,
no, she was dying. We have a very close sense of humor.
Okay.
And
but do you think she's a little envious of maybe like, wow?
Oh no, I don't think so.
Or somewhere near there.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
But I was uncomfortable in the dilemma. I'm not going to say whether or not I did it, but I was uncomfortable in the actual dilemma. But it's definitely something. Hey, people got little things they like.
Nope.
Steve likes Evanescence.
No, hey, I like.
You know what I mean?
Things I fucking like, and I mean a lot.
I love. You know what my favorite is?
What's that?
A cream pie.
Amateur porn too. You like
an amateur porn, yeah.
An amateur cream pie.
I can't do a refined porn.
Nothing gives Dave Wood like an amateur cream pie.
I just cannot do fucking amateur, professional porn. I can't do the professional. I can't do really fucking sexy. It's too polished. It's too airbrushed, baby.
He wants like, hey, I'm at the car wash, you're at the car wash, let's fuck.
Yeah, I like amateur fucking homemade. You know, it's either amateur porn or I'm gonna watch QVC and beat my meat.
That's it. He's hitting it.
You know what I mean? That's it. I will not watch anything by Vivid or Playboy Pictures or anything like that. No. I need to watch a real couple.
Real shit.
You know what I mean? Like a real couple. And you know what? There's got to be a dick in there. I hate that lesbian shit. And I hate that anal shit.
I know it.
I hate that anal shit.
No.
Doesn't do it for me.
No. Hey, raveboy, is there you got? Oh, you don't have the beer. I have the beer. Never mind. Do you need a beer, big boy?
Yeah, dude.
There you go, buddy.
I'm looking up the psychology.
We got these Jennies because we actually picked up a sponsorship from Genesee Brewing Company.
We got these Jennies because
they're looking out. They told us they want to work at the show. They want to keep us rolling in the red eyes. So we're going with it because we like Jenny. Fuck it. If you want to pick up a good deal in town, where do they go, Dave?
It's half McDonald's, half Express Mart in Appalachian, New York.
The Express Mart in Appalachian, New York.
The woman at the counter was so sweet too.
Was she?
I told her about the podcast.
Oh, good. So hey, I'm going to take a moment in the show and talk a little bit real quick about a couple things. I saw a couple interesting documentary films this week, one of which, I don't know if anybody's heard about this. It's called The Woman Who Wasn't There. It's a documentary film about a woman who faked involvement in the 9/11 tragedies. She made up a story. She fabricated a story about being married to a gentleman who worked in the Twin Towers, claiming she had a job there herself at some financial institution. Told a story, very, very rich, detailed story about almost dying, the planes, the explosions, the smoke. She ran, she was carried, she fought with others to get, into the corridor, to come down the stairs and finally escape. It was all complete bullshit. She made it all up. She was called out eventually by a bunch of local news outlets, and they eventually chased her down and got her on the horn, and she was denying things and then went up missing, and nobody knows what happened to her. She was a Spanish national, it turned out, and it's really fucking crazy because she not only was like passable, she was like the president of the 9/11 Survivors League or whatever the organization is.
Now, I didn't see the movie. When you say she went missing, she vanished?
Like she was living in America, on the east side in New York somewhere.
LES, shout out to LES, Mr. Mars Bar.
What up? And then she's gone. Everybody tried to get a hold of her, and she called a couple close friends and said, oh my God, the New York Times is calling me, the Washington Post is calling me, CNN's at my door, what do I do? And then she was gone. And it's amazing. I mean, you watch this, it's fucking unbelievable that somebody would get away with something like that. She duped the shit out of everybody. It's crazy. Another similar feature in the film world this week is another piece I saw called Kumare, The True Story of a False Prophet. Kumare is a feature documentary film about the time filmmaker Vikram Gandhi impersonated a fake guru and built a following of real people. It was really interesting. It's this Indian guy from Jersey. He's totally an American, third generation over here. And he decided he was going to grow his hair out and become a guru, quote unquote. And he gained this following, and people followed him and changed their lives, did great positive things for themselves. It was interesting and it was really cool, and I highly recommend that everybody checks it out. As well as that woman who wasn't there. Two really interesting pieces with kind of strange themes of deception at their core, but really interesting outcomes and really rich development in both of them, and very informative.
I was certainly interested in the second one you mentioned there, because I think people are predisposed to a certain degree to, being fooled like that, being fooled by these slick people.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? I think the infrastructure is always there.
Yep. I mean, and it was cool. It's not like he was exploiting people and be like, oh, you got to give me $10,000. You got to come, with your daughters, and, you got to come, and he's not pulling he's not taking everybody to Guyana and trying to start fucking Jones.
No, shout out to Jim Jones, though. Jimmy, though.
Boy, I mean, that's fucked up. People went for that shit hard. Think about all those people. Think about the people drinking the fucking Kool-Aid when the mothership was coming.
There's also one in California.
People.
Do you remember the Heaven's Gate cult?
Heaven's Gate?
They were really fucked up. I've read extensively about them.
That was the guy where
his name was Applewhite.
His name was Applewhite. The fucking bug-eyed maniac.
They were so fucked up that they bought a telescope to see the spaceship behind Hale-Bopp Comet.
Hale-Bopp, I was in high school.
When they couldn't see it, they returned the $600 telescope. Instead of... They already had their conclusion. They threw away the evidence. You know what I'm saying? They had the anti-scientific mindset. And when they killed themselves,
about
29.
The most urgent thing that is on our mind.
This is Mr. Applewhite.
What we suspect is the most urgent thing on the minds of those who will connect with us.
This guy has the most maniacal, wide-eyed facial expression.
And these tapes go on and on and on and on.
About to be recycled.
Big shiny fucking potato.
Your only chance to evacuate is to leave with us.
To leave
and
the earth.
It was interesting. It was interesting that when they did kill themselves, I think there was 29 of them. When they did kill themselves, they all wore running shoes and they all carried $1.50 in quarters because that's how much they thought the toll was going to be. It sounds funny, but there's a cumulative, systematic process in which these people believe this, and that's a micro scale. That's 29 people. Jim Jones is 800, but on a macro scale, it was something like North Korea or what we see, with Hirohito or Hitler, or even to a certain extent the cult of personality that formed around Stalin. Hannah Arendt wrote extensively about that. It's a constant bombardment, and you know what? I think there's something in people, like the guy's documentary pointed out, that can be exploited by a slick person. I mean, think of these pastors, as Hitchin used to say, Ted Haggard, Jimmy Swaggart. Think about them. They're all they're slick as fuck. They will talk your panties off. They will make your panties Niagara Fall. You know what I mean? Like, these motherfuckers, there's a certain degree where they reach and they can do that to people, and it's easy to exploit. You know what I mean? It's very easy to exploit. But Steve and I have a important phone call. Anything else that we were going to throw on here?
Yeah, well, before we go to the phone call, let's talk about Jodi Arias.
She's the worst. I don't know if you wanted to touch on this, baby boy.
That's our girl.
She, I've been consumed by it.
Let's talk about it. You give a little case synopsis, if you would. That'd be helpful for everyone.
You know what? You give the case synopsis, and I'll give you the what I believe the defense attorneys are doing.
I don't really know much about the case. You just brought me into it. I know she's alleged to have stabbed, slit the throat of, and shot her boyfriend.
Out of self-defense. Stabbed 27 times.
She stabbed him 27 times out of self-defense. And, she's been on trial, I think, since January.
Yes, January 2nd, I believe it was, the trial began.
Jurors are in deliberation now? Is that
yes,
correct?
Absolutely.
You should be doing this. I don't know.
She's already admitted to it. She's already admitted that's what she does.
Yeah.
There was no other killer. Okay.
Right.
The only real question is: was it first degree murder, or was it something, as her defense attorneys contend, was out of self defense? She had battered woman syndrome, or something like that. But she's changed her story so much, and she's lied so much, even about the most simple of details.
You can just tell when she's given her testimony that she's a scumbag.
She is a horrendous.
And she's trying to paint him as such a prick.
She's an acrid fucking cunt.
Red Riding Hood, and
yes, they gave all the details.
Me to have pigtails so I would appear younger, and he began having sex with me anally, and I cried, and I didn't know what to do.
And you'd read on 4chan.
Well, exactly. She's trying to assassinate his character, which,
she is
maybe he was a prick. I don't know.
You know what? This guy was a Mormon and some sort of motivational speaker, but the whole sex thing, and I don't care what people do in the bedroom, I don't give a fuck less, but the whole sex thing, it makes you think, man, that motherfucker was doing some hard shit to her.
Yeah, well, true.
He was fucking constantly fucking her in the ass, and you know what I mean? She didn't like facials, but she used to be hot.
Yeah, she did.
The defense attorneys have made her look
with her MySpace pictures.
Oh yeah, she was fucking. She was sexy. But the defense attorneys had make her. She lost some weight. They made her look meek, weak. They made her dye out her roots. They put her in these glasses, and they don't make her wear makeup because they want her to appeal to the jury
they don't let her wear makeup
as some sort of weak person instead of this hot vixen who fucking how the fuck do you stand someone 27 times?
Oh yeah,
I just don't get it. But the interesting thing that we can kind of like string into the podcast here is a splinter of this, a species of this, is the type of thing we see with the whole catfish situation.
Yeah,
the rudimentary elements are there. I myself, I can't think about it. I can't get over that hump to do something like that. But people are already on that trail. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This catfish bitch, she might end up being, or he might end up being someone who in 5 or 6 years, they're at the torturing animal stage right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Figuring it.
They're at the young Jeffrey Dahmer stage. It could be. You know what I mean? And they could eventually get into something else.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Seems predisposed, that's for sure.
That's a fact. So we got a call we're gonna take. We're gonna take a call from Angel. This is Dave's boy. He works for a company. He works hand in hand with the gas drilling companies, the hydrofracking companies, the gas and oil companies conducting operations not only here in the Northeast but in the South, in the Midwest, and the Far West. And we're going to get him on the show here, and we're going to chat with him about...
But right prior to that, we are going to hear about 30 minutes before the show began, Raveboy was on the phone with his 2-day girlfriend.
Yeah, let's cut to the Raveboy bit.
Yo, man.
Raveboy's going to actually get the fuck down.
You must... Yeah, and I was trying to coach him through because he's known her for 2 days. Raveboy, you must have blown her cheekbones out good or something.
She was on there like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I heard her on the phone. Let's go to it. Ready? Here we go.
I'm a terrible person.
A terrorist?
After 2 days?
Raveboy.
Really?
You're not.
Really? You are. You are.
Raveboy.
Like shit to me.
Take it easy on her.
You're fucking attacking me out of nowhere. Whoa. Last night, you blew up and tried to storm out of my house at 12 o'clock in the fucking...
Colton, pass that bitch to me. I'll have her giving me her meds.
If you want to be... Okay, here. How about this? If you want to be in a serious relationship where you don't bring this drama, okay, then you can give me a call. Because I thought you were a drama-hating person.
That's it.
But if
they
you
say they hate drama, it means they love it.
If you just want to start all this shit right away, please hang up on me.
No, you hang up on her. You got the dick. You got the diamond dick.
No.
She thinks she got the diamond dick.
She wants to start some kind of stupid-ass drama with me after telling me for a repetitive few days that she's tired of her family's drama, then maybe it's not her family that causes the original drama. Because if she's starting drama like this with me, now we come down to the point of who's starting the fucking drama.
Look at your face. You've only known her 2 days.
I know.
Lettuce is still good after 2 days, okay? It's fucking over.
Sorry,
pass her my way. I will have her fucking just...
told you that you were doing...
We're trying to get you through this, Raveboy cult.
I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong.
Raveboy, though.
Let's be real here. What did I do wrong?
Right.
What did I do wrong?
Beer?
Nothing.
Tell them motherfuckers live online.
Hello?
Yo, what's up, Dave?
Yo, what up? Is this Angel? Oh, what up, kid? You're live on the air.
You're on the 607 podcast.
Oh, what's up, man?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing alright.
Right on.
All right, so tell us, take it from the top.
I'm live on the show right now?
Yeah, you're on the show.
Baby boy. Take it from the top as far as...
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead. What up?
I heard your first podcast about that, catfish.
Yeah.
You know that, one of those girls that was on MTV's, Catfish is originally from Binghamton?
No. We already have a catfish?
There was already a local fish?
Edmund Englehart or something like that.
Oh, we got to touch base with you and get that written down. We got to get that looked at.
Wait. She's on my Facebook, actually.
She's on your Facebook?
Yeah, she's actually from Binghamton. It's kind of...
Wait.
I was actually talking about that when I was hearing it on the podcast.
Was she the victim? Please tell me she was the perpetrator.
No, she was actually the victim. I guess she was being catfished for a whole year, and I guess some other girl was catfishing her.
Wow.
Well, she must be fucking delicious.
She was the model. Yeah, she's probably good looking. We're gonna both add her for like research purposes.
I do.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, that maybe something you could look into.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Steve, by the way. Nice to meet you, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah.
All right. So, tell us a little bit about where do you work and what's going on. Like, what do you do? Where do you work? Take it from the top.
Alright, we're a company that does like seismic work, but we're based off of fracking. And we lay equipment down. And our equipment tells them basically where to dig another well.
What do you do? Do you do a seismic scan of the ground? Like you put some shit underground and cause some ripples and get readings and stuff? What do you guys do exactly to figure out if it's a good spot to drill?
Well, when they're fracking, all the waves that creates, our equipment monitors the waves as it ripples underneath the ground.
Okay.
And we record it and we send it to a company based out of Houston. And then our geologist reads the data and it gets back to the fracking companies and it lets them know if, for example, if there's a big oil pocket underneath, it lets them know where they could dig, drill another well, and frack on another site.
Okay.
And where is this? What state?
I've been all over, man. I've been basically in Texas. I just got back from Ohio a couple of days ago. I've been to Denver. Outside of Denver, it's called Greeley, Colorado. I've been to Oklahoma. But I've been all over the place, man. I'm actually gonna go to Pennsylvania in about another week. I actually was in Pennsylvania, Franklin, Pennsylvania, in January, Jefferson County. I was out there for a month and a half.
So your company works hand in hand with the gas company people. How are the gas company people? I mean, the guys now I'm not talking about the guys working, the hourly guys out there busting their ass in the well and on the pipeline. What are the bosses like on the gas company side? Are these guys, are they nice guys? Are they generally pricks?
Some of them could be pricks. Some of them are pretty cool. It depends on.
Tell us an instance in which someone was a prick. What standard is that? What happened?
It could kick you off the site.
So
Tell you gotta get out. You gotta get out. It might cost your company the job depending on what you do. If you don't have the proper PPE, which is proper safety, hard hat, safety glasses.
Yep.
Steel
toes and shit.
They kick you right off the site if they wanted to, but most of the time they're pretty cool. I know that when I was at Franklin, there was a company guy. He was pretty much a douchebag, but he got fired a couple days later.
Right.
Some of the guys were in bar fights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Keep control.
Well, the pipeliners have a bad reputation for that reason. The actual gas company guys, I mean, in local bars and shit, they got a pretty bad reputation. STDs, violence,
touching boys,
drunkenness, anything you can throw on somebody, these guys get thrown on them. And I've seen it though firsthand. There is a lot of bullshit that goes down with people who are, working a traveling job like that. Some of them can get a little out of hand. Let me ask you another question, Angel, about being on the job site with these guys. I mean, what's the general vibe as far as, are people concerned about, obviously understand that in the media there's a lot of coverage of people who are, against fracking for environmental reasons. What's the general consensus on the job site? Is it something like, hey, these people are crazy, fuck that, this is safe, our bosses tell us this is safe? Or is it something that's more like, well, we know it's kind of fucked up. Maybe it's not the greatest thing. Maybe we shouldn't be doing it, but it's paying good. You know what I mean? What is either of those like a prevalent vibe on the job site, or do people not even acknowledge the environmental concerns at all?
In that vein, what is your general impression of small town America? What's your general impression of the type of is it cronyism? Is it corrupt as it might be perceived? Is it the old boys game in these small towns across America?
This is what will happen. Like, a lot of people think that, like, for instance, like, if fracking was legal in New York, people automatically assume that, like, the gas company is going to hire people to work for them. And that's totally, like, incorrect. Like, these people bring, like, they have their own guys, you know?
Right, they bring them from Colorado and Texas and stuff.
Louisiana.
Yeah, they'll come from, like, Oklahoma, Colorado, or wherever, West Virginia, or whatever. They'll bring their own people to do their work. Where the money comes in is, like, hotels and, like, your local Walmart and convenience stores. Like, they'll have to hire people.
Yep.
Because the demand will be high.
Right.
Like in North Dakota right now, like, no lie, like, McDonald's are, like, hiring people at, like, $15 an hour. Like, they can't keep, like, their dining rooms open.
That's exactly right, man.
Because they don't have the workforce. Like, Walmart, they'll hire people at, like, $18, $20 an hour just to keep their shelves stocked.
Yeah. Of, overnight dinners and...
Oil is just, like, ridiculous. Like, they'll just come in and wipe everything out.
Yep.
Because that's the only place to go is the Walmart, convenience store.
Right, they're staying in a hotel. They got to get all the shit they need. You may forget your pillow. You go buy a pillow. Need to go buy a toothbrush. You need to get some food for the week. These are all, like you said, gas stations, Walmarts. These are the places that are benefiting. People think, oh, the gas company's going to come to town and we're all going to get rich. We're all going to be working on gas. And even like you said, they import their guys.
Some of these country bitches are looking for the gas guys to come to
definitely
town
bring the money.
Dick.
But what nobody realizes is, even that little financial boom you see, even the gas stations and the Walmarts and the fucking trailer park bitches picking up the pipeline dudes, it's all temporary. You know what I mean? It's all temporary.
Like the circus.
It's like phone lines. Think about this. When the phone lines were being built, I'm sure the phone companies were saying, oh, we need to put up phone lines in your town because we'll employ all these guys. The phone lines go up and that's it. They're up. The power lines, they go up, that's it. They're up. NYSEG makes money for 100 years. Goodbye. End of story. There's no recurring work in that field. Once these pipelines are in, once these compressors are up, once the fucking drilling pads are all there, the shit does itself. They don't need workers there anymore. So and like you're saying, and they don't even hire local people. They bring them in. They bring them in for places where they're already trained. They don't want some dipshit who doesn't know what he's doing.
In my opinion, is like people that have like CDLs because they need like
drivers for water trucks.
Exactly.
For water in and out, they bring fucking 10 million gallons in and out of a well site a day.
Well, like a lot of people are like excited that are like, oh, I want New York to have fracking, but in my experience, like I say 8 out of 10 times, or maybe it could be lower. A lot of people that own land, they think that they'll get rich off of it, or the companies will lease their property. But in like theoretically speaking, a lot of people don't own their mineral rights. So even if you have oil underneath your land and you don't own your mineral rights,
then they take it. Yep, you're not getting nothing. Yep.
So even like, all right, you have 20 acres and they're like, well, you have oil underneath your land and you don't own your mineral rights. Some guy in like Florida who's just hanging out, some older guy in Florida owns your mineral rights. He's the one that's gonna get that mailbox money, not you.
Yep.
And then you're just like pissed off because you're not getting any money. Then the government steps in and they're like, well, we need to drill here for the gas, and like you can't do anything about it.
Right, yep.
So, like a lot of people, like if you're hearing this show, you need to investigate, make sure that you own your mineral rights to your property, because if you don't,
they're gonna come take your shit anyway.
You're not gonna get anything, and that's what causes a lot of problems.
And I mean, when they frack, they dig down a long ways, and then they dig sideways a long ways too. They're going onto other people's property. Just because you don't sign, they don't give a fuck. They'll dig right under you. You're not gonna know. You don't have a fucking monitoring station a mile down underground. They'll fucking turn their drill bit and go right under your land and tell you to go fuck yourself. The only people they deal with are the people where they have to enter the ground, and they could enter the ground in one person's well and suck all the gas dry for 50 square miles, and nobody knows because like you said, nobody's really concerned with their mineral rights. People assume they own the ground underneath them, but like you said, I've seen it in films as well. They don't. People don't.
All right, so Angel, real quick, and thank you for coming on. in just a concluding remark, yes or no for New York, in your opinion?
My personal opinion is, like, I would make so much money if New York legalizes crack. Like, I would never go anywhere else but New York. Personally, I don't want fracking in New York, and I work in the field. And that means, like, I'm potentially giving away so much money that I can make. I don't want fracking in New York because, like, it's too much of a risk. We have too many, like, little streams and, like, underground water wells. It could be a possibility that it could get contaminated. You don't know, like, what's going to happen underneath ground. Even though you could bring in a whole team to clean it up, like...
There's no cleaning it up, though. There's 390, carcinogenic chemicals.
They put, like explosives on the ground to crack the rocks and stuff.
Yep.
And all those chemicals drip under there. There's no 100% that they could get.
You can't get under the ground and clean up. It's a fucking splatter. It's a mess, as well as I do. And there's so much chemicals in the fracking fluid that once it touches the water, it's irreversibly bonded to it. I mean, I applaud you for that decision. Your kids and your grandkids, might have a little bit of clean drinking water in the next 60 to 130 years because of people like you caring about the water underneath our ground, which sustains our fucking life. And,
there's a whole bunch of other stuff that comes with it. Like, even if there is a boom in New York, how long is it going to last? They're going to put up hotels and all this other stuff, but his big business is what's going to benefit from it.
Absolutely. You're exactly right.
Be the local mom and pop restaurants.
Nope.
It's all going to be Walmart, McDonald's.
Right, because the mom and pops aren't open 24 hours. These guys are getting out of work at fucking 2 and 3 in the morning or whatever fucked up hours. They're going wherever's open. And where's open at fucking 3 in the morning? Walmart, McDonald's. These are the people that are getting the money.
Say this, like, when I was in Jefferson County in Pennsylvania, which is actually the #1 most poorest county in Pennsylvania, they had probably, like, over 50 wells in that county. And it's the poorest county. Like, the unemployment was really low. Like, and it's just, it didn't really do nothing for the, like, local economy in my point of view.
Yeah.
Like, none of those guys were, none of the people that were working on those wells were from Pennsylvania. Everybody was from either New York or mostly everyone was from Oklahoma or Texas. So it didn't really do nothing to the local economy. The only thing is, like, the county and the towns tax the wells, so they get their money, but as far as, like, the local, they weren't really doing anything.
No.
Everyone was looking for jobs. They were, like, working at a salt mine and, like, they weren't doing anything.
Right.
So it's not really going to do anything for the economy. And then how long is it going to last for? Is it going to be a year, 2 years, 5 years? And then after
And then what?
What's going to happen? It's just going to be closed down. People are going to lose their jobs.
Yep.
I personally think that it's not going to do anything positive for, like, overall, it's not really going to help New York. It's not going to bring the unemployment down. Some people might get hired to work, but then again, it's the question, like, oh, you're getting paid $10 an hour to work, and you're like, oh, I don't want to work for $10 an hour.
Right.
It's just those questions you have to ask yourself.
Exactly. I agree with you. I don't know how Dave feels about all this, but I agree. And again, we thank you very much for your time, Angel. Thanks again for coming on the show, man. Feel free to call back in. We'll get you in for an update in a while, and we'll touch base with you again as to how things are going. But thanks again, man. We'll talk to you soon. All right, bye.
I guess take us out with the Ric Flair clip.
Yeah, do we have a Ric Flair clip? I think we got.
I mentioned earlier, Ric Flair just fucking styling, just going.
Yeah, let's get some Ric Flair up here.
I think you will.
You sent me the theme music. We want to get some Ric Flair madness going on here.
We're working.
I mean, yeah, we're. I don't know. I remember watching Ric Flair as a kid. I just remember thinking, man, that dude's fucking old.
World heavyweight champion. You know, girls, why don't you give it to him?
There he is. Look at this guy.
That's who's standing here today. The world heavyweight champion. Only one. And you're looking. Oh, girls, I can't stand it. Now I gotta talk. We all gotta be quiet. Nikita Koloff. We've only just begun.
He's calling us some Soviet.
That's the end of it. Dusty Rhodes, don't ever make a mistake.
Dusty roads. Don't ever make the mistake. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you next week.